Okay guys, are you ready for cards number 3 and 4 in the Cute Fruit Way to Goat Stamp-A-Stack? If you missed video number 1, you missed a lot. So go back and catch up. The link to that video is in the description if you're on YouTube. There's a quick link series on the blog underneath the embedded video. In video number 1, we stamped our backgrounds on our cards. We also cut and distributed our designer series papers for each of those cards. We cut it according to the Wonder Recipe number 4, which is follow the details, project details if you're on YouTube, and if you're on the blog, the printable cutting guide is right below the video, okay? We also have Stamp-A-Stack that is completely versatile no matter what kind of stamp set you want to work with. So to show you that, I've done the exact same cards using the exact same card kit. Now they're only available while supplies last at the kitchen table stamper store. Usually they sell out overnight. But if there's still kits left, you can grab a kit. Otherwise, just follow along with the free printable project sheet. That's also available on the blog under the embedded video. You'll see a project sheet for each of the 2 cards and the printable Wonder Recipe. So we're on our Stamp-A-Stack here, and you can do this Coastal Cabana card either with the Cute Fruit or with the goat or with any stamp set you want. The fun part is I'll be doing this exact same Stamp-A-Stack with the little ladybug stamp set for our bingo game on Friday night. The idea of the Stamp-A-Stack is to be versatile and to use what you have, or to inspire you with what you might have just purchased, like Cute Fruit just came out this month, or Way to Goat. All right, so let's get started with our stamping. The first thing I want to do is have you go into that kit and grab the Whisper White seam binding ribbon. Now if you're playing bingo, you've got a whole roll of it because that was part of your goodie bag. But if you've got a kit, or if you're doing this one yourself, if you've got a kit, you're gonna have about 10 feet of ribbon. And that's about 1/3 of a spool. And if you're doing it yourself here, you're gonna wanna take your ribbon and we're going to unspool it all. I'm gonna cut it in quarters. So we're gonna end up with about 2.5 feet of ribbon. And we're going to color these 4 different colors. So we'll use these pieces of ribbon for the rest of our cards in this series. So we've got about 2.5 feet here. And we're gonna color these ribbons using our Stampin' Blend markers. So we've got 4 pieces and we're gonna color them in your choice of colors. I've got Calypso Coral, I've got Night of Navy, Daffodil Delight, Purple Posy. These are all light and dark, these are the combos. We don't have Coastal Cabana Stampin' Blends. I know, my favorite color, and we don't have Stampin' Blends. So what I like to do for the Coastal Cabana is we can kind of fake it. Dark Pool Party and Light Bermuda Bay. Now, you can choose any 4 that you want. And for me, I'm going to do just like my samples. So for this project, I need 2 pieces that are Calypso Coral. So to do my fruit Stamp-A-Stack, I'm gonna use Purple Posy and then my makeshift Coastal Cabana, I'm gonna do Calypso Coral. To color these, I'm gonna cover my work surface. I've got some copy paper here and I'm gonna do a couple of sheets folded in half because this can really soak the ribbon and it could ruin your surface and we don't want that. So we're gonna start with our Calypso Coral and we're going to just run the brush tip of the marker over the ribbon. You can hold the ribbon down with the brush tip of the marker and pull it along, or you can sketch it on there if you want to. As you go, you can just swipe, whatever works for you, but you're gonna color the whole length with Calypso Coral. This is the light one. And we're gonna take the dark Calypso Coral and we're gonna do the same thing. We're only gonna do half of the ribbon though. And we're going to blend together the two shades with the light. So we'll get kind of an ombre effect. With Calypso Coral, because the dark shade is substantially darker than the light, I like to work in sections, lightening that dark and blending it in as I go. I'm gonna do this with all 4 pieces of ribbon and make all different color ombre seam binding. Pretty cool, huh? All right, I'll do that and I'll set it aside to dry. I'll meet you back here to put together these cards. Okay, so we're back and I'm at the tail end of dyeing my ribbon here. I'm working on Purple Posy, and a couple of tips for you. It's gonna dry lighter than it looks when you add the color. So don't panic if it looks a little dark. You can lighten up any dark shades by running the lighter color Stampin' Blend over. So if you feel like it's just a little too intense, you can go back and add light over the dark. If you're intimidated by it at all, then just use the light shade of Stampin' Blend to dye the ribbon. You'll be happy with those results, I think, no matter what. So it's a lot of fun. It's a very artistic way to use the ribbon. It takes a little bit for it to dry. You need 4 pieces, your choice of colors. So here are our 2 cards with the pineapple label design. Let's go ahead and get our kits. One more time, just before I put them aside, here's the Way to Goat label design. And you'll see, here's the Purple Posy, the Calypso Coral. In our next video, we have some Night of Navy, and this is the Daffodil Delight. So whatever colors you like, that's the nice part. And if you're playing bingo with us, then you have an entire spool to use white or any color that you like. So let's start with our Coastal Cabana card here. We've stamped the background, and that is with All Wired Up. It's a fantastic rubber background. We did all of our cards using the All Wired Up background stamp. We've got our designer series papers here. Let's get those adhered to the card. Then we'll take a look at some of our label pieces. We're gonna go ahead with kind of a jaunty angle, a little bit high for our designer series paper. And then a jaunty angle with the polka dots. I love it. Now in this kit, we have given you a choice because I don't know what designer series paper you're gonna use. I hope that you'll really mix and match. But if you're using the crushed curry, we thought the Calypso Coral might look better. But if you're using the Coastal Cabana paper, we thought the crushed curry might look best. So you are gonna have an extra label, don't worry about that. Just set it aside, use it for another project, or do another Stamp-A-Stack. You can get more of this Playful Patterns Designer Series paper at marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. All right, so we've got our little label. We've cut ahead of time for you. If you don't have the kit, you'll need your layering circles dies. And we've cut the 2 9/16. It's the 3rd largest, and it coordinates with this 2nd largest stitched shapes circle. So that one was the 2 3/8 inch. Let's go ahead and adhere them together, and we can then adhere them to our card. All right, set that one aside for a minute. And now our Night of Navy kit. This one is the same thing. You're gonna have your choice of label. We're going with the Calypso Coral again. Let's go ahead and adhere our designer series paper. I love this Playing with Patterns Designer Series paper. The color palette is lovely. It's festive and fun with the shades of blues and purples. It can be kind of cool, but you can rev it up with that crushed curry and calypso coral. Let's get the label on. Same like we did for the first one. We are, after all, Stampin' a Stack. We're gonna have some repetitive movements here. Then same size. This is that 2 3/8 inch stitched from layering circle, or from stitch shapes, and then we're going to put it on the scalloped from layering circles and adhere that right down to our card. All right, we've gotten together a bunch of our pieces. We're going to go back to our Whisper White cardstock. So you've got 3 half sheets in your kit. We're going to need some pieces for our greeting. So we're going to take our paper trimmer. We're going to cut off 1/2 inch strip, and we're going to then cut that one. We'll cut off 3 inches. We need 2 of those, 1 for each card. Set them aside for a minute till we stamp our greeting. Let's do some pineapples now. We've got crushed curry and Coastal Cabana for our pineapples, and Night of Navy for our greeting. If you're doing your goats, you'll stamp them in Memento Tuxedo Black and color them up right now. Of course, for photo polymer stamps that you want to use your Stampin' Pierce mat, you'll get a better impression every time. And let's ink up the body of our pineapple and crushed curry. Get a real good inking on. A nice solid image is going to come from a good inking. And with a solid image, I sometimes, as long as the pen is not brand new or over inked, this kind of rocking motion really works to help apply the ink to the stamp as smooth as possible. We're going to stamp 2 pineapples with 2 green leafy crowns. I love this stamp set so much. It's going to be fantastic for treats of all kinds. I've got so many ideas and not enough time. Coastal Cabana leaves. Ooh, I love it. Slide to the side. Now we've got our little Whisper White strips. We need a stamp I couldn't ask for a sweeter friend. Night of Navy, and we'll do that centered. I love punny stamps. Couldn't ask for a sweeter friend. 2 of those dudes. All right, I'm going to clear away the ink pads, but I'm also going to cut my pineapples out. We're going to fussy cut those. If you did your goats, get them cut out, and I'll meet you right back here. We'll get these cards finished up. All right, guys, we're back with our little pineapples cut out, and we're gonna dovetail the end of our little sentiment banners. I like to use the tailored tag punch, so if you've never seen me do that, I like to pop that into the little V at the top here, give it a punch, and you got a pretty even, equal dovetail every time. Now we need some dimensionals. We're gonna do quite a few between our pineapples, which I'm really fighting. I want to call them pumpkins so bad. Don't know why. I don't know what's gotten into me. We need a little 1/2 dimensional at each end of our sentiment banner. It's gonna span over our pineapple, which is going to be dimensional. So we don't need any dimensional in the middle of that banner. We're gonna do a few here. I think it needs more than just 2. All right, everybody's got dimensionals. Oops, that one stuck to my finger. Let's slide these to the side and bring in our sample. Here's our Coastal Cabana. Let's add a pineapple Did you hear me? I almost said pumpkin. I did. I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. We're gonna put that right of center in our circle. Get our little sentiment banner here, and I'm gonna add a little bit of dry adhesive on the center that's gonna stick to the pineapple and help support our little couldn't ask for a sweeter friend. Now we're just gonna have the tiniest bit of scallops that poke out underneath our sweeter friend. Don't push down, don't burnish down the I couldn't end, because we're going to grab some of that gorgeous Calypso coral ribbon and we're gonna make a nice loopy bow with it. Now, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but there's a variegation that happened, and it's not gonna be the same each time. It's gonna be different every time. It's gonna be different as you go down the length of the ribbon, but this variegation from coloring it is just so artistic and beautiful. We're gonna make a nice loopy bow. Let's cut that off this with some ribbon scissors. I don't want to shred my ends. I made my bows kind of large for this class. I like a big loopy bow, especially since this ribbon is so special. We've really worked hard to make it special. All right, let's get mini glue dot on the knot of our ribbon. We'll pop the ribbon on and then go ahead and adhere down that dimensional. Now, if everything's just a little bit too large and in charge for you, then you can go back and snip off just a little bit more. We're going to do the exact same thing with our navy blue card. Get that little guy in here. Only this time we're going to use our gorgeous Calypso coral. Only this time we're going to use our gorgeous Coastal Cabana. And this is that one that we did with Pool Party in Bermuda Bay to make kind of a middle shade. All right, I'll adhere these guys down just the same way we did with our first pineapple card. All right, pop a pineapple. Couldn't ask for a sweeter friend. Mini glue dot. That guy down. We could take out a little bit of the excess if you feel like it's excess. I don't think it's excess. Nothing wrong with a really big bow. And you're gonna have some ribbon that's left over in these dyed shades to use on another project. So beautiful. All right, we need to dress everything up. We're going back to our kit. I'm gonna grab some flowers here. We've got one Calypso coral, one crushed curry. You can mix and match those a little bit. You should have plenty. I punched them for the kits ahead of time using the small bloom punch. And we've got these little sprigs. These are punched from Coastal Cabana ahead of time. And we need one for each card. 2 more cards, 2 more sprigs, and lots of flowers to choose from. So add more, switch up your color, whatever you like. You'll also have plenty of enamels if you want to do more enamels than I did, or different color enamels. So I've got my little take your pick tool. Gonna add the enamels to the center. I'm gonna put a little purple posy, and we'll do a Coastal Cabana one this time, just right in the center. You could even, now that you've got them right in the center, give another little push for shape. Now we need our multi-purpose liquid glue. Add some dabs on the back of the sprig. Pop that guy in there. And then our flower, multi-purpose liquid glue. Nestle that right in. We don't want to catch our ribbon. Nestle that right in. And more of those gorgeous enamels. I'm going to take kind of a medium size and pop it just slightly under my pineapple. And then a little size Have that one kind of floating off. We're gonna do the same thing with our Coastal Cabana card. Line a multi-purpose liquid glue on those sprigs. Slide them in. Our flower. Nestle that one down, but don't catch the ribbon. It's too pretty. And a few little Coastal Cabana dots. Couldn't ask for a sweeter friend. Aren't they cute? Oh my goodness, I can hardly even get over how cute they are. And then here's a peek at our alternate inspiration. Here's our little goats. Now for the goats, what I did was popped a little 1/4 inch hole in the top of the label, made it like a tag, and tied my bow up at the top. Added the little flowers down below the "I got you a cake" greeting. Inside it says, "But I ate it." All right, you guys, if you've got questions about the Stamp-A-Stack, about catalog kickoff bingos, we've got one coming up for the holiday catalog. Cute fruit, way to go. Anything I could do to help you stay crafty? Wonder recipes? Email Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com, and to shop 24/7, buzz over to marisaalvarez.stampinup.net. Thanks for watching.